Senzo finding out the hard way that sometimes half-price pizzas.
Good.
Dude.
In this heat, I feel so foolish.
I don't, not full though, because I think you're a skinny guy as it is. I think you lost probably about like 15 kilos from the...
But I also put myself into a stupor. I bit off more than I could chew, no pun intended.
So listen, I understand you want to avoid contact. I need you on the mic so we can get your opinions. We're the morning after the day before.
Yeah, man, what a downer, eh? What an absolute downer. Like, it was... Yeah, what do we say?
Well, we got to figure out what to say. That's the point of a podcast. So
We're in mourning.
I'm not, though. So
I'm also not.
We're recording this the morning after the AFCON semi-finals. Bafana losing to Nigeria. But I think overall, run the tapes, go back. We said that with the amount of strong teams in this tournament, the amount of potential winners, plus then the amount of shocks, we felt, like even before we knew the shocks, we felt that if Bafana pulls a semi-final place to be the top 4 teams in Africa based on who is there, that's a victory. Anything else is a bonus, right?
Absolutely. And they were punching above their weight, and especially for the way they played, like especially after the first game and how we buckled under the pressure. Every way we handled each game, even against Cape Verde, we didn't play that well, but like we still felt, good, in good spirits, buoyant.
Cape Verde was like holding on, like that's where you used up all your luck, but it's fine. We got away with it.
Did we though? Because
we did, because we got through.
Nigeria, the VAR coming through for us.
But it was right, and I think it's a trend of the whole tournament is that VAR and the way the refs applied it was phenomenal. I mean, look, I do get to the point with VAR where I think, because most of us who listen to this, you watch Premier League, and the Premier League just dominates the landscape. Like the Premier League eats everything in front of it. So I think the Premier League makes a lot more out of VAR than anywhere else. But the VAR was phenomenally used. And, to come back to it, that was a wild couple of minutes because you're going, oh, shit, 2-0 down, we're done, we're out. Turn around, oh, by the way, not only is it not a goal for Nigeria, it's a penalty for you.
Absolutely, bro, because it's like wild, because I was like, oh, well, we're booking our tickets, and then just God know why.
And at that point we start going, name on the trophy, man. Like, absolute name on the trophy. Like, Cape Verde, we should not have got through. Until we remembered that Cape Verde tried to beat us with a guy called Bebe. And we've seen Bebe.
Bro,
We've seen Bebe.
It shoots from everywhere. Also, Ronwen Williams, that save in the last minute. That bullet.
Man, with the one-handed, just such... I said to you that he is a technically perfect keeper.
Oh, he's assured. He does very good on the ball.
Everything right.
Yeah. Fundamentals.
Every single thing. Even when he takes in shots, the ball doesn't bounce off him. He grabs onto it, holds it. So, he, if not keeper of the tournament, I'll be very surprised. Has to be.
Him or the Nigerian keeper?
Yeah.
Mr. Chipper United.
I think that... And listen, the penalty shootout thing's weird, though, because he's hero in one penalty shootout, and then in yesterday's, the Nigerians have figured him out, because I think they knew, look, this guy does his homework. So, just... don't do what he thinks we're going to do. That's what it seemed, right? Yeah,
and especially with like the first Nigeria goal, he went the right way. It's just that the penalty was lacking a bit of power.
So anyway, listen, heroic stuff, and you can't complain. Got further than Salah, got further than Mane, got further than Kudus, got further than Mahrez.
Got further than the whole top 5 of Africa. Got further than Africa number 1, World Cup semi-finalists. Africa number 2, defending champions.
Really. Look, it's a weird thing for us with the amount of money in the South African game to be sitting there and going, oh, well, poor underdogs. But when you start looking through the lineups of the rest of the teams, there's not 100 million or, Victor Osimhen, that is 100 million euro, 100 million pound player.
Salah as well.
We don't have anyone near that. So that's when you start going, no, because although, economically we're strong and our league has a lot of money, I wouldn't say it's strong. We got one strong team. But yeah, when you start seeing even like an Alex Iwobi, who I don't know what the point of that guy is.
Yeah.
But the guy is a established, long-time Premier League footballer who I was reminded yesterday is JJ Okocha's nephew.
Yes, he is JJ Okocha's
You know,
nephew.
I knew that, but like
the legend.
you forget it, right?
Yeah, you do. I mean, also, half that team is, like Lookman.
Yeah.
Lookman is definitely not Nigerian because I asked Phil Foden about Lookman. So yeah, man, it is what it is. And also, like,
Because wasn't Lookman, didn't he win the World Cup with England under 17?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And also, like, if you look at how we played, and there's nothing better we could have done. And also, if you look at what Hugo Bruce did and his justification for picking the team that he did and the combinations that he did and why so many Sundowns players, look how Sundowns do when they also go into like continental tournaments. They're throwing their weight around.
100%. And, you know, the combination play, the little patterns of play, you don't often see that in international football because international football can sometimes be quite direct. It's very set piece based.
Yes.
Because that's what you have time to work on. You don't have time to work the patterns. But when you see like 8 guys from the same team, okay, yeah, the guys are...
We don't have to worry about chemistry or any of that. So, yeah, man.
They're working it
wild.
out. Listen, yeah, I mean, guy. I mean, that guy is way too good for the Portuguese second division.
Bruh.
You know,
He was just so assured, controlling everything.
dominant, confident, clever.
Smart, eh?
Clever.
Very smart.
You know, taking fouls, knowing when to give. So really good. All I know is that the Turkish transfer window only closes tomorrow or Friday. You know, as we record this.
Oh, there are going to be many offers.
Oh, the Turkish clubs are like, get him in. Let's get all the African players. We've got a free run at them.
Him and Modal
Has to be.
right back of the tournament.
Has to be.
Kulisa Modal, like, he's so assured. Look, he's not known for his scoring prowesses, but like, gee.
But I think, you know, that's the thing with fullbacks. Like, if you don't have that attacking bit and you aren't able to do the crossing, you know, kind of like it's not good enough to just be a one-way fullback anymore. But anyway, listen, to take nothing away, man loves a chappie as well.
Yeah, bro.
You don't see that too much anymore. Top-level players chewing chappies right through the game.
Yeah, bro, there's no time, bro.
There's no time, hey?
There's no time.
That's got to be, I mean, because we play football. You chew chewing gum, you can't. You eventually swallow it.
Oh, yeah. And also, like, the way things are happening, like, it's...
Is he replenishing? Like, does he have multiple chappies?
I
Like,
don't know, maybe.
in his socks, he keeps
Probably.
new chappies.
Probably.
Where the rapper's going. Does he read the did you knows? You know, while he's waiting, you know, his attacking play up front, did you know? You know, the Great Wall of China can be seen from space. These are the tactical questions I need to know.
Yeah.
These are the things I need to understand.
But that's one secret we'll never tell. But also, it's wild that Tempazwani Nelly didn't make the squad.
Oh no, unreal. But resilience, man.
Yeah.
It's resilience. He just like, Bruce was not sold on him at all. As he came in, not interested. He's just like, oh, all I can do is perform.
That's
all I can do is perform.
That really is all you can do. But yes, man.
Centre backs were strong, great part. Like it gets to a point where you start watching balls come into the box. You're like, teams, why are you doing this?
Honestly,
we're eating everything. Like, why are you even bothering with crossing in?
Honestly, because like it was like I saw our game plan because we'd pass it around, knock it about, and then we'd wait for the diagonal just to go, and then Percy Dow burning them all year round.
Oh, but listen, a player like him's always going to be frustrating.
Sure.
Because, that's just the nature of that play. But, man, sometimes just like, dude, come on. Like, just, he's driving.
Bro.
I think that's the thing.
Composure.
And a player with his experience. I mean, he's
been there, done that.
Wasn't he player of the year in Belgium at one point?
Yeah, when he was at
Liège.
Yeah, Stand Liège. And he decimated Madrid at the Bernabeu in the Champions League. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's just you're so surprised that that final thing wasn't there. But anyway, it's fantastic. It's our furthest run in the AFCON in 20 odd years. 24 years.
Last time we made a semi-final was in Nigeria.
Yes.
And we lost to Nigeria.
Two
Babangida goals. I remember that.
Listen, that's good. I haven't heard that name in ages.
Tijani Babangida.
Yeah, listen, Nigeria is a little bit of a hex. Remember, way back in the early days, the 4x4s.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, they didn't give us both, but Nigeria used to punish us. But of course, that was the super Eagles side. that people thought was going to win the 94 World Cup. Yeah. Right.
Finidi
right.
George.
See, there we go again. Senzo and I've got an idea for a podcast. Anyone steals this, we're going to kill you. We're going to do this. There's a theory that guys can just sit around all day and just for an hour just name sportsmen and they have a great time. Could that be a podcast?
Absolutely. Nothing gets guys talking more than that. Like
any sport,
bro.
Motor racing, just start any sport.
Juan Manuel Fangio, no, it's way before my time.
You see what I mean? But name him. Someone knows him.
Yeah.
Blast from the past. Names from the past. So we're now, okay, listen, we've got to go to the loser final. That's fine. We'll do it. We'll get into
if we're not top 5 after this.
Has to be.
If we're not ranked top 5 in Africa, then I don't know.
And also the unfortunate, it's not one of those AFCONs where the semi-finalists go straight through to the World Cup. But with so many places open for the World Cup still, not relatively far away, 2 years away. We've got to fancy a first World Cup.
I mean, look at Morocco. Morocco
24 years.
Into Copa America in 2028.
Man, that's crazy. So is that what you're saying? Is that what you're after? You want Copa America?
No.
You don't stop until we get a Copa America guest invite. Hey?
Yeah.
We don't stop.
So what happens at the Confed Cup if Morocco wins the... no, but it's obsolete because they didn't win this AFCON.
No, but that is an interesting story. What happens if the guest team, because if you don't know, in CONCACAF and the Copa America, because there aren't enough teams in...
so it's Central America, North America,
yeah.
and South America.
Yeah. So they will... Well, that's CONCACAF, but Copa America,
Copa America
is South
CONCACAF
America.
Cup, yeah.
And then they invite teams in. And it's usually... it's usually the USA and Mexico, naturally. But every now and again, they'll get South Korea in and whatever. They've had Australia, I think, has been in there.
Yeah, but... Because Australia used to play the playoff against the South American team.
Yeah, because they were... So,
because they used to smack other teams like American Samoa 22-0, 17-0.
And what's the point of that? Have you seen that movie, Next Goal Wins? But you know the documentary about...
I've heard of it.
So the documentary about America Samoa, the worst football team. They were bottom football team in the world. They got beaten 22-0.
Yeah, by Australia.
And then
that is the highest international score.
The highest international score. They get an American coach who he comes in, kind of not interested in being there, living in beautiful Ireland. Fantastic documentary about it called Next Goal Wins. Mm-mm. And then they made a movie about it. Taika Waititi. That guy, the New Zealand director. Really funny.
One day get Peter Jackson.
Great story. Oh, because then you got Gollum in there. You got... we don't have the budget for that. We don't have the budget for Peter Jackson.
I mean, American soccer had the budget for Messi. They had the budget for Klinsmann. Klinsmann was the thing before.
Listen, people aren't happy with Messi. See, his world tour is going to shit.
Really?
Well, because they signed contracts. So Miami on this like a bit of a world tour going all around. I think they were in Hong Kong, and Messi didn't play. So the Hong Kong government wants an explanation. The government want an explanation as to why Messi didn't play.
But I feel like because Beckham would have made sure.
Well, Beckham got booed. Beckham, they saw Beckham. Obviously, his dignitaries walking around with it. They booed him.
Why?
Because Messi didn't play. Because obviously, you're buying tickets and guaranteed every post and everything. You want to see Messi, yeah. And if Messi doesn't play, these tickets weren't free.
Absolutely.
You sold me that I'm going to see Messi.
Yeah, but
you don't go buy tickets to go watch like
I'm sure
Drake and
Drake doesn't
Lil Baby shows up.
Yeah, fact. But I'm sure like that would have been in the contract. People would have.
Well, it would be, yeah.
It would have
45 minutes.
I mean, if Sundowns could have pulled it off. Never mind that Messi only played 15 minutes, but he played. So
well, exactly right. So let's go bring back to the Sundowns thing, right? So here's the risk. So what next for Bafana? Because that's what we want to know, right? So World Cup qualifiers, I think they already started.
Yeah.
We with so many teams, so many places open to Africa. Listen, nothing's guaranteed. There's a lot of good teams in Africa, as the AFCON has shown. But you kind of got to go, okay, do we go to the World Cup? Do we keep the same coach? The team isn't a young team.
Yeah, no, it's not a young team.
I think we were one of the oldest teams in the tournament.
But World Cup is in how many years? 2 years?
2 years time. So there's going to be more miles on those legs. So if you carry on the same philosophy, Sundowns play a lot of football. But here's the thing, though. So none of this, and we can sit there. What I'm so glad about is finally people were back into Bafana fields.
Yeah. But we called it, bro.
We called it. We said, get behind. You got to.
Back your boykies. You have to. At all costs. Bro.
Which was great. I mean, everybody I knew, especially from, group stages, people don't get into group stages, and I understand that. But once you start getting to the knockouts, like, casual, observe, well, like, oh, we're into it. And yesterday you could feel a vibe around the place. You and I were bumped into each other in Parkhurst. Like, you could see it. You could just feel there was a bit of a vibe.
Yeah,
right?
there was a bit. But I'm disappointed with the figureheads of this country because they didn't say anything about the lads' performance.
So here comes the thing, right? And anything they do say is cheap politicking.
Yeah.
It's an election year.
And now it's the moment's gone.
Right. So here's the thing, though, is that this was not a SAFA victory. This was not, you look at some teams and you go, okay, this is a culmination or put together process or thought pattern of putting things in place. Mauritania, a great example of it. Okay. Cape Verde, a very clever example of it. Even you mentioned Lookman earlier on. Nigeria, they get from the diaspora. The 260 million people in the country plus a massive they're not scared to go get people, and they know where the people are.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Morocco have also had a very, a thought out plan. And those are just some of them.
Yeah.
Senegal said, okay, well, let's just move our whole squad to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
This is not a SAFA thought out plan. This is Bruce arriving here and going, makes
the most sense.
There is no structure here. What do I need to do? And he figured it out, right? And
kudos to him, yeah.
Great, he worked it out. So if anything, it's a Sundowns victory.
Kudos
to him. This is a Sundowns victory, okay?
Absolutely.
And people were like saying that. I said, yeah, but it is, right? So don't confuse this with the SAFA victory. This has got nothing to do with SAFA or any joined up thinking or the figureheads, because those guys have systematically, since at least 2010 and probably way before.
Way before.
But 2010, we know there was money that disappeared.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. The money's gone. Like, where is that money?
But
FIFA gave us money, and it has never been, and because they want an account for it.
Absolutely.
It's never been accounted for.
And also going back to your point of this not being a SAFA thing, you look at the Banyana. They also figured it out without any proper league structures for women in this country. So yeah, they kind of took it upon themselves. And Desiree Ellis said, "Look, onwards and upwards, forward we go."
Because that's what we do in South Africa. We figure it out. We figure it out. So the thing is, what I foresee is that Bruce, the man, doesn't suffer fools.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he put up with SAFA's nonsense for this long. And I think...
Especially being European, like...
weren't
we hemorrhaging... Like, didn't we make Carlos Alberto Pereira the highest manager? Then Joel Santana came in. Like, it was wild, bro.
To just throw money after people. And there's mercenaries. Listen, we know this. We know there's mercenary coaches in African football that do come for paydays. So SAFA are going to... It's going to be interesting what SAFA do, because the one thing, and we've seen this before, Danny Jordan does not like to be second fiddle.
But like Danny Jordan also needs to let go.
He's got to get out. He's got to get out of.
He's got
because
go.
Because we're achieving despite him.
Exactly, he's a hindrance because it's being at the helm too long and you don't know when to leave. You get out of, like we see it with most of the dictators on our continent. Like,
it's a great word for him.
Like, they're out of touch because it's wild, man. It's wild.
And what they're going to do is that they're going to use this run and they're going to go, great, we're female African champions, we're in the Women's World Cup, we had a good account of ourselves, semi-finalists of the AFCON men's, probably going to qualify for the World Cup. Are we in the Olympics? I think
I'm not
Gotta
too sure.
double check that.
I think the women are.
I think the women are in the Olympics. I don't think the men's team is there. Maybe have a good run in the Olympics. And they're going to use that as a gloss to go, well, look how good SAFA are doing. No. A football federation is not about what they're doing at the top. The football federation is like grassroots. What are you doing at the bottom? And they aren't doing anything. The pipeline in South African football is get yourself into Supersport United, Supersport United to Sundowns, Sundowns national team. That kind of seems like the pipeline right now. It's very simplistic, but SAFA are doing nothing to feed that machine.
To keep it churning along. Because you remember the Sydney Olympics 2000, that under 23 team
with Quinton Fortune, Matthew Booth,
McCarthy,
Benny,
the team that hammered Brazil.
Yeah.
That should have been the blueprint.
Yeah, well, exactly. But that's when things were looking good. So this is what happens. And you see them, then I think players then move around, they get transferred, they kind of see around, they go, we know the SAFA thing doesn't quite work for us. And listen, there's been a lot of allegations in that there was a period that the Bafana squad was used as a way to move your players overseas. And players were just being selected based on moving overseas. Then there was other allegations that no local players ever stand a chance because they're only bringing in inferior overseas players. It's a ridiculous thing. I think one of our best goalkeepers, certainly top 3 or 4 goalkeepers, was his name, as I was about to say, Hans Vonk. Thank you. You know, he was an Ajax goalkeeper.
Yeah, and he was born and bred in Holland. Yeah.
And he is one of our best goalkeepers that we've had. And we've had great goalkeepers. We had, Andre Arendse, Brian Beloy. You know, we've had really good goalkeepers produced locally. But Hans Vonk loved South Africa as much as anybody else.
I mean, to come back and to play for it.
Because
for us, yeah.
That's also an attitude of South African fans. We want to see local players. But it's like, you look at through Nigeria and Ivory Coast, the 2 finalists. I think South Africa is one of the only teams where I think it could have been in our group or somewhere along the line. We were the only, I think of the semi-finalists, of the 4 semi-finalists, we were the only team that every player was born in South Africa. We do not tap into the diaspora.
That's incredible, because that's what you want to see, because that means that you're doing something right. Because this thing of like, now we go find somebody who's like, all of a sudden.
So you feel that way as well? You feel that everyone should be born in the country they play for? Absolutely.
Not like this thing of like Lookman, like just because you're not going to get cap for the England senior team. Now you...
But he's a good player. I mean, he's a Nigerian.
No, he's a good player, but like...
one of the best players in the tournament.
Sure, but like now we're getting England's off cuts.
No, it's not. I don't see it like that at all.
Don't you?
I don't see it like that at all. Firstly, the world isn't like that. The world's more global now.
Fair enough.
Okay, so this thing of you sitting in your country, people travel, people move, like it's fine. I don't have that thing at all. It's like, if you are qualified, I don't see it like he failed for England. England's bar is very high. France's bar is very high. Only 23 players can get in a squad.
True.
Right?
True.
So if you've got the opportunity to represent another country, of which there are a lot of South Africans who can do that. So I don't know where in the structure, that was one guy, Sean Dundee. Listen, we're also talking about these. I mean, you don't want the dross, but you also go, if a guy qualifies for South Africa like Hans Vonk, why
wouldn't you take him?
So there is, and I don't know where in the structures they sit right now, and they're probably on loan, but both Manchester United and Manchester City's could be under 17, under 19 goalkeepers have South African parents.
Ooh.
Right? And I think one of them is already playing is already in the England junior ranks. I think could be the Manchester United goalkeeper.
Okay.
So when you get to a point where you go, why wouldn't you
tap into
because if you're SAFA and you can't get your shit together to have this pipeline, and guys are going to the academies at Manchester United and Manchester City and Liverpool and all over the world, they're doing the hard work for you.
Yeah, so like Mark Gonzalez, like before he landed at Liverpool, no one had really heard of him. And Chile was still, they were in between, they were kind of rebuilding. And then all of a sudden he makes the Liverpool squad, and then now, Mark Gonzalez was born in Durban.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well, Sebastian Haller, the guy got you to an AFCON final.
Yeah, fact.
Right?
Fact.
Do you think they give a shit where,
And you look at guys like Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez was born in France, and he easily could have made the French team, but he decided to.
Right. So I don't. It's South African fans. I was interested that you had that take, because South African fans do have that. They go, "Oh, we only want guys born here." It's like, no, man, that's so myopic. It's like that's just not the world anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's just not the world.
But also, I think it also makes me proud, because when the guys. So coming back to your point, and now that I actually think about it, that you don't see it that way with Lookman, I think it's actually a good thing, because now people are embracing that they're not English first, they are African first, and then, you feel me?
I'm in that situation, right? Let me take my example. So if I could, I would qualify to play for both Portugal and South Africa, right?
Yeah.
And you go, okay, whichever one, say you end up, wherever you end up, I wouldn't feel less or more of either. Once I'm selected for because I got roots to both and links in both. So me as a player, if I get selected to play for South Africa, phenomenal. I will give everything to play for South Africa because I've got a link there. If I'm selected to play for Portugal, likewise, right? I wouldn't go, I'm just playing for you because let's use the example. I couldn't get selected to play for Portugal, so I had to play for South Africa. It's like, you wouldn't see it as lesser. You go, fantastic.
It's an opportunity.
I got two opportunities. Only 23 guys can get selected.
Absolutely.
You know, and if I'm in the best 23 of another team, you know, of a bigger population than Portugal, like, you know, that's great. So I don't think the players see any less of it. I think the players, it's any player, once you're on that field, you put on a shirt, because you got the links. You know, Ademola Lookman, he doesn't play for Nigeria by accident. He's got Nigerian family. So
exactly. People don't land up there because,
he's brought up Nigerian.
Qualified.
He hears the language. He's in the culture. So it's like, he's no less Nigerian.
I mean, it is like Alex Iwobi, I think, was born in England as well.
I also think so, yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. So
but he's no less.
Fact.
He's no less Nigerian than somebody born in Lagos. You know, we got a huge Nigerian population in South Africa. Yeah. Do you think somebody bought a Nigerian born here to Nigerian parents shouldn't play for Nigeria? Like, is he lesser Nigerian?
That's true, actually, because, he's a South African of Nigerian descent. So, you do make it's like guys in the Dutch national team. The black players, they're Surinamese.
Well, it's the same. France are the biggest example of it.
The sixth African team in the World Cup.
You know, but they're the biggest example of it. But it goes, that's just the world. It's just, I don't think it like, maybe you could go back to maybe the 70s where people didn't move around so much.
Yeah.
People travel, people move, people look for other opportunities. The world is so globalized that to still have this myopic view that we can only take the people who, like, were born in a hospital in this country. It's just weird. It's just, and
also citizenship works in a very strange way, and like, so I mean,
and it's a disadvantage, because guess what? Like it or not, everyone's doing it. The two teams sitting in the final, the team that knocked us out, Cape Verde, who ran us close. I mean, Cape Verde had guys born in France, had guys born in Portugal. Bebe was born in Portugal, played for the Portuguese youth teams. You know? So you can sit there and go, oh, no, whatever. You know, why? Everyone's doing it. It's not against the law. The two guys who got into the final ahead of you, they did it. It's fine. Why would you disadvantage yourself?
And also, it's not like they're doing what they do in the Olympics. So, some countries where someone's already represented a country and then they get bored. Now they...
Yeah, that I find weird. And I know a lot of sports, because I think rugby does it as well.
Yeah. To a lesser degree.
To a degree. But
cricket does it.
Cricket does it. Cricket does it. That I don't like. I go, listen, once you commit to a country, because then that's the thing you say, oh, well, you couldn't make it there, so now you're second choice. So that's the thing. And I think it's this myopic thing of like, oh, well, if you're not born in South Africa, you don't understand South African soccer. What is South African soccer? What is it?
Exactly. I mean, the only country that can kind of lay claim to it is the English end.
Well, what is English football?
What is English football?
England have spent the last 20 years trying to be more technical and not play English football.
Yeah.
You know, so it's even Brazilian football. Brazilian football, I don't know when you last watched Brazil. They don't play like Brazil.
Yeah, there's no Jogo Bonito, there's no Samba Boys.
You know, Nike made that up. That hasn't existed since an airport advert in the 90s.
But come to think about it, which of the old powerhouses, well, the traditional powerhouses still stick to their blueprint? Think about it.
Like you go through, so Germany are no longer that Germany. They got this wild gegenpressing, high energy, very technical, smaller players, because Germany was always strong powerhouses who bludgeon you. The only ones who I think more or less do stick to it, and you've seen the success that does not follow, is the Netherlands. I think they still try they try to stick to their way of playing football, very like 4-3-3. You know, they still try to play a version of it.
Total football. But the Spanish now, but everybody's figured out tiki-taka, that's the thing.
Oh, tiki-taka. No one plays tiki-taka anymore. They worked it out. You gegenpress the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know, so you can have identities, but football, like, is more prone to, especially international football, is the most prone to tactical changes.
Yeah, because as well, I mean, it's also about, they very fine margins in international football, because it's all about, like, I think it's all about your structure and how prepared you are in international football, because it's not really about talent and all that. You feel me?
Yeah, it's moments. It's about managing moments, and in a lot of cases, managing the emotions of the game.
Yeah.
So let's look at the final, Nigeria, Ivory Coast. Like, I refuse to look past Ivory Coast, because they are, I mean, that is horseshoe up the arse type of stuff. You cannot kill them. They will not die.
Juju, bro.
I mean, they they went out in the group. So sure were they fired their coach. That's how sure they were. He resigned.
Yeah, he said,
that's how sure they were out.
But now it's just become like a different team, because now they're actually like jamming, like they're playing well, and they seem like they have a new lease on life. But
they're still lucky as hell, because even Hala's goal, I mean, come on. I mean, the mechanics of that goal.
Hala lucky.
So you see, that's it. I want to know, I got one question. Who hurt Frank Kessie? Because that man was taking it out on that ball. Like, he was.
Did you see what the pitch looked like at the end?
And I knew it was going to come to that point, because the one thing why the football's been great is because the pitches have held up. But you're starting to see now, okay, we went a week too long.
Yeah, because also I think Ivory Coast all play their fixtures at a certain.
Yeah. It's the pitch is looking a little bit beat up. But Frank Kessie, he's just angry. He's just like, the towel with this ball.
I need to get out of Saudi.
Yeah, he's there. Hey, stupid move. The man.
It's a job, bro.
He did a Barcelona. He did an AC Milan. Not yet, man. Frank Kessie, you get the Premier League lined up.
And Barca could do with a player like him, man.
Oh, so that's the AFCON. I'm not looking past Ivory Coast at this point, because just you cannot write them off. They keep coming back.
But Nigeria, bro. Nigeria just know how to win.
No, I think the way we took control of them towards the back end, and a lot of the extra time, we really controlled them. I think with better players, which the Ivory Coast do have,
with people who are more composed
up front,
who don't snatch your chances, who don't panic, because
more, a Sebastian Haller, guys like that
were assured,
they're gonna, and Frank Kessie, a guy can do anything, kind of just gonna surprise you with something, because I saw Nigeria and I was like, yeah, they're good.
We had them though.
We had them all the way through, and I think Ivory Coast. That's my opinion.
Who I was impressed with from Nigeria for me, other than Osimhen, who was trying to make things happen by himself. Aina, the number 2, he's so good.
Yeah,
he's so assured.
But he's always been solid. That is like a consistent. I mean, good Premier League performer. Just I've never seen him have a bad game, and he never plays for the greater sides. He's in Nottingham Forest right now.
I think so.
I can't keep track of everyone who's at Nottingham Forest. They got like 5 goalkeepers at the 5 first team goalkeepers.
Also, Ahmed Musa is still playing for Nigeria. It's wild also that Chukwueze is not starting.
I was disappointed with him when he came. I was like, oh no, we're done now. He didn't look too hot.
But it's crazy. It shows you like the speed and the way the game moves so quickly, because Bassi doesn't look too assured at Fulham, but like when he plays for Nigeria, he looks world class.
Same as Moses Simon. He plays in Nantes, so we never get much of Nantes, but he's never linked with a big team. When you watch him play for Nigeria, like this guy, like he is so unpredictable. He tears fullbacks to pieces. And you like never hear of him in the European game. He's just, I think it's an element of just like trying to coach that out of that flair that's maybe encouraged.
Also, you probably don't hear about him because also the standard is, with all due respect to African football, the standard when you get to Europe, it's just.
That's a good thing, and it's a good thing to mention. It's one of the things that I was saying about South Africa, and I think what's really caught a lot of people by surprise is because you look through and you go, okay, well, all our players play locally, so for Sundowns you don't know really how good they are because the standard here is quite variable, and then they play within Africa, but also the best African players are cherry picked. They're not playing in the competition, so you're not quite sure how good we are. And then you start seeing it against experienced Champions League players, Premier League players, and you go, oh, okay, well, we are quite good because it's difficult to tell.
And also because the thing is, you get to Europe, everybody there is talented. It's about how tactically disciplined you are, how do you play within the system and all that. So yeah, it's just one of those things.
And it's becoming more and more a thing, I think, as it's one of those things that you go, is it because we're getting older, we're getting more nostalgic for the way football was when we first fell in love with it, or are players just not as interesting as they used to be because they're so academy processed?
I mean, it's also the speed of the game, everybody's catching up, and also it's the amount of games that's being played. The game has to develop, it has to move along, and now at the end of the day, it's not because the academy develops, it's because there are better structures to find people at a younger age, and people are getting more opportunities when they're younger to go abroad and to go make a career out of it. And I don't know.
But the street ballers don't exist anymore. Even within, well, so name five at that level.
Street baller, Faratelia,
right? Used to be able to name them. So anyway, on nostalgia, let's jump away from AFCON. I want to talk to you about something, right? This caught my attention. You're going to love this as well. Is that there is a new over 35s World Cup being proposed.
I heard about that.
Right? It's a Legends World Cup being played in England this summer. The competing nations are made up of the 8 nations who've won the World Cup. Right? So... obviously France, England, Spain, Germany, Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. I think I missed somebody out there, but anyway, you get it. It's the 8 nations who've won a World Cup. So
the G8 of football.
They're putting this together. Let me read this here. The players that are already being selected. Now, listen. Over 35s is one thing. Once I start getting to these names, we're going over 45s in some of these cases. But Steve McManaman is going to be leading the England side.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. And he's enlisted Michael Owen, whose hammies are going to be gone in 3 seconds.
Really?
Ashley Cole. Okay, he'll have a game. Joe Cole, Rio Ferdinand, David James, Frank Lampard, and Robbie Fowler. So I'm like, that's not over 35s, man. That is over 45.
Bro, those are geriatrics.
I think Robbie Fowler could be 50 already.
Probably.
Frank Lampard, I know, is about my age, mid-40s.
Frank Lampard is
he's
46,
about, yeah, he's about that age. The other captains are Esteban Cambiaso is going to be the Argentina captain.
Is that guy still alive?
Emerson, the Brazil captain.
Really?
Christian Carambeau.
Christian Carambeau is definitely 50 odd.
Carambeau, he loves these tournaments. He's always playing in these sorts of games.
He's 49.
Kevin Kurani.
Kevin Kurani.
He's leading Germany.
The German guy from Stuttgart.
He was a weird one, right?
Yeah.
He wants Ozil. Ozil's in the German team. Marco Materazzi is going to be Italy captain. Michel Salgado, Spain captain.
Gee whiz.
And then Diego Lugano is going to be the Uruguay captain.
Diego Lugano.
Okay. So the rule, the way you qualify, you have to have been obviously capped by your country or made 100 top flight appearances.
So like for a club? So
in a a club in the top flight, yeah. So real top flight, major league 100.
bro, you can't be serious. Christian Carambo is 53 years old.
That's what I'm saying. This is not over 35s World Cup, man. Over 35s World Cup looks very different. Jamie Vardy's playing in an over 35 World Cup, right?
Might as well fetch Cristiano Ronaldo.
Not Michael. Exactly. Not Michael Owen. So, according to reports, Brazil's 18-man squad will feature Kaká, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, and Rivaldo, while Fabio Cannavaro and Totti are set to line up for Italy.
Rivaldo is Zidane's age. He's turning...
They're over 50.
52.
That's over 50. France are going to bring in Henry and Marcel Desailly.
Really?
Sami Khedira and Ozil for Germany. Argentina are going to call up Crespo and Zabaleta.
Zabaleta could still do... He probably could still jaw.
Zabaleta?
Yeah, I'm sure he could.
All right. And then Spain, David Villa and... Right, he's going to do it because he's not that old.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos Puyol. Games will be 70 minutes, 2 35-minute halves, and roll on substitutes, of course.
Obviously, as opposed to what?
So it's going to be played in London over the summer. I'm all over that, man.
I'm scared for Michael Owen, bro.
Come on, man. Michael Owen is not lasting.
At all, bro.
He's not lasting. Rio Ferdinand do well because he looks fit, but he got boxer size.
Yeah.
Because Rio Ferdinand wanted to do YouTube boxing.
Yeah.
So he jacked himself up. But don't touch his hair. This is the problem. Because he's getting beard plugs, hair plugs. He's doing all the things.
Fair enough.
And we just know Forlan's just going to score.
If Diego Lugano's there,
Yeah. He's going to score dangerous goals from everywhere. Dangerous goals. So that is the over 35 World Cup. Let's just touch on a few things happening in around the Premier League in particular. Pochettino gets a good result, so he's no longer under pressure. Do you think he's dead man walking?
No, he isn't. He isn't, because it's not really his fault. Also, you need to give Chelsea time, bro.
That's what I always felt, right? And up till now with Chelsea is that the fans have not turned. The fans have been pretty good. They understand. They see what's going on.
I've seen this movie a couple of times. So
but they're starting to boo. In the Wolves game, they were singing Jose Mourinho's name. Wolves were singing "You're shit" and "You know you are," and they were singing "We're shit" and "We know we are." So I think that's what becomes very interesting for Todd Bowley, because you can cut out the outside noise once your fans start putting pressure. Because if they're putting pressure on Pochettino, I don't know what Pochettino's doing.
He's trusting in the lemons, man.
So you think Pochettino, listen, to get rid of Pochettino this time of the season, that's going to be moronic. Your first real blip, it's not turning out anyway at all. You've got a cup final.
Also, we've seen this movie. What does sacking him do, bro?
Especially with a bit of a mess of a squad. You've had players out, you're getting people back in. Ben Chilwell's coming in. You've missed your captain. Jackson, okay, he still won't be back for a while. Or at least for a couple of days. So the big thing I want to see, basically, while I'm driving this narrative, is I want to see them appoint Mourinho for a third time. 20 years. 20 years.
Really?
After he first came to Chelsea. That's wild, right?
Also, Mourinho is temperamental, bro.
Of course, it'll be beautiful.
Because Todd Bowley is going to make it about him, and Mourinho is going to make it about himself.
Mourinho is temperamental, and Mourinho does not like working with young players. But he will want that Chelsea job for everything that it's worth.
The final dancer.
Yeah, Mourinho just will keep Mourinho will never stop dancing. He just keeps dancing with the devil. And being Manchester United supporters, we saw shoots. Are we getting excited again about our front three?
Paulo, don't do that to yourself.
I don't do it to myself.
Don't do that to yourself, because we've all seen, you must always leave room for disappointed, especially with United, because when you don't care about them, they lure you in, and then it's a cycle. It's a cycle of it.
I know, because you're caught in now, and you go, Højlund scoring goals. He's got consecutive goals. He's done 10 for the season. He started his scoring run against Villa. But you know what the thing is? All the goals are not coming out of any joined-up pattern of play, any joined-up technique, whatever. They're come from individual players, which Manchester United have been doing for ages. it's just we've got a lot of very good players that every now and again they will decide to do something good. And that's kind of what's happening right now. It's not really, Garnacho is doing things by himself. Hoyland, again, he gets the pass, but it's not like an intricate gameplay. He's found the gap, he smashed the ball. That's what he's doing.
Fact. But also, Martinez, I'm so sad about that.
I know, because even without that front three, you got to have the strong base. And I think we're saying like Luke Shaw and Martinez, suddenly we look a little bit more stable at the back there. But John Martinez now out for...
Luke Shaw gets it, bro.
Yeah, he does. I'm so conflicted about Luke Shaw because I kind of like look back at these guys who are complicit in failure and have been around Old Trafford in all the crap. And he's one of the guys who have been in there. And I think you kind of like, he doesn't know a better standard, right? He doesn't have a winner's mentality. And I just wonder, because you see players just get dragged down so quickly, and guys who've been there the whole time who kind of go, no, but this is just the way it's always been here. True. And he's one of those. And I kind of like, it's not his fault, and he's never done anything to prove that, it is, but I don't know. I just kind of go, you have to move out the guys who kind of have that stink of failure on them.
But like now with Kobe Mainu, like it's interesting now because now Oaks have to really fight now.
Even to the point that I saw United are considering letting Christian Eriksen go to Turkey because they're like, well, we can't play you. You're not that great when you play, and kind of like, let's call it what it is.
What would you do?
With Eriksen?
Yeah.
Or with Kobe Mainu, or just the whole situation?
The whole situation.
Well, the thing, Eriksen, if you keep him beyond the summer, what are we doing here? He was a player brought in for a very specific reason. He did very well at Brentford. That kind of like step back into United. He's had his moments, but I think, it's always going to be broached with Eriksen, his condition, and I don't know if you can ever separate that. So I think that's always going to be on your mind as anybody. You go like, is he up to it? And of course they know he's up to it when we be playing. So I think it's just kind of like, you got a kid. He looks like he's going to settle in. You got Casemiro coming back, and McTominay, he's not doing badly.
McTominay's McTominay, man. You can't really...
They're different positions, but on the Eriksen thing, I don't really know what Eriksen's adding to at the moment.
Yeah.
We only got league games pretty much. A guy's not going to play much. So, let's just... we need to clear wages.
True.
He's not going to be earning a little, but he came on a free. So, there's no future here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nothingness and a bit of a dead end to... Yeah.
The whole move was.
You're right, actually, because we've got a lot of players who are like kind of filling in, you know what I mean? And that haven't really...
He was a player that was very cynically, Ten Hag goes, I need players to understand the way I play. This guy played at Ajax. He gets it. He's free. It kind of fits and works for everybody. Eriksen's going, geez, I thought my days of playing at the big clubs are gone. When I came to Brentford, I was like, okay, well, this is my level now.
I mean, he was lucky that Brentford even touched him because in Italy, no one would go near him.
I think in Italy you can't because any player in Italy with a heart condition, it's very difficult to play. So I think with what he had and what he's had in like kind of inserted or what do you have? Because it's not installed. But anyway, in Italy you can't play if you have
implanted.
That's the word. So I think it's something like that. So I think it's like you can't play him.
Yeah, it's also like it's a massive like health risk, and it's like you already know what's up with this guy, so it's like it's looking for a problem.
Look, I think from his point of view, I wouldn't leave if your only option is Turkey. I think you kind of go, okay, well, at the end of the season, let me go. That's fine. But if I'm him, I wouldn't leave if I'm going to go play in Turkey. Whereas maybe other options, maybe go back to Denmark. When the season's over. So that is us. Do we want to say anything about Ten Hag? Do we still think he's dead man walking? What's our assessment on him this week?
Well, he gets an extended stay because, hey man, some people were busy messing up. Look at Chelsea, shipped 8 in 1 week. So,
and we scored 8 in 1 week. All I have to say is thank God for, I've said it before, thank God for Chelsea. Man United fans, thank God for Chelsea. Thank God for Todd.
Always giving us a reprieve, eh?
Always helping us out. So we hope you enjoyed our series, AFCON, where I'll look at the AFCONs 23 and 24. And we are going to get back into doing Goat Farm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So next week we will be up and churning that. And
new episode's coming.
You've made me change my script so many times.
We got the goats. The goats are bleating. They're on their way.
And you'll think, no, but there's a goat. And then you'll think of something else. But then there's a goat. There's another goat. Like, so yeah, man. Oh, I'm just elite, man.
So what we're saying is hit subscribe. Hit subscribe. Get Goat Farm. The working title FC.